just in time. I found you just in time. Before you came, my time was running low. I was lost, the losing dice were tossed. My bridges all were crossed. Nowhere to go, nowhere in the world to go. But now you're here, and now I know just
Rectangle Roots. A long time ago, I forfeit my life. I made a very bad decision. I decided to take a chance, and had not something people find impossible to believe in, stepped and gave me a choice, one which would determine if I lived or died. The choice was actually, parrot what I believed in, what I was told, that a mind could not possibly process information as fast as I was experiencing, or learn from it. That choice saved my life. I lived for several minutes in a fraction of a second. To me that was impossible, but I learned why this was being demonstrated. We do have a grammar system, and have had it since nearly the dawn of man, which can process information independent of time itself. Its output is concurrent with the input, and all processing is exact. It is a grammar of pure truth. Today my life is in danger, not from my own stupidity, but because of federal and state so-called government. Both of them support each other in making sure the population is placed in abject slavery and poverty, and both keep telling the stupid population that this slavery is freedom. Unbelievable. Together, they have taken everything I worked for, and placed me in poverty I cannot get out of. They have done exactly the same thing to everyone, but most people are so slow, they are unaware of it.
Oh, yes, thank you so much. Para todos los latinos que están escuchándonos y mirándonos esta noche.
Together, they have taken everything I worked for, and placed me in poverty I cannot get out of. They have done exactly the same thing to everyone, but most people are so slow, they are unaware of it, and do not care. I am in the same boat as everyone else. The Union and General Motors has even denied paying my pension. They simply refuse, and the reason being, absolutely none at all. I am told I have to hire a lawyer. But that is our government, telling you that the government is there to protect your freedom, and they place heavy taxation on you for that very same purpose. But if you need that promise to be upheld, you have to hire a lawyer who will do everything in their power to do the same to you that the government does. Make sure they remove as much of your assets, your life, as possible. So, everyone blindly lives by this scam. Lose it all to the government, or lose it all paying for lawyers regulated by that very same government. Well, that was my choice. Spending my life chasing my tail like a dog in the courts, or ignore them all and do the work I was asked to do. For saving my life, I was asked to express something, the very same thing you find in Genesis to Revelation, a standard of judgment, that resides behind two chain-shut fences. That is binary recursion. So, my life is in jeopardy. I cannot afford to get the medical attention I need, nor keep my own home in repair. To spend time on that would ignore the real problem, the stupidity of the human race. I am in the very same boat as all of humanity. I certainly would not be like those dogs who encourage people to chase their tail, while asking those people to support them, their ideas, their cause. WTF? How stupid can things be? I will then show you what has historically been claimed impossible to find, a standard of measure for a simple duplicate ratio. It is called the Delian problem. It has been claimed that no such standard of measure exists. Now, you can believe that, or you can believe that binary recursion, that which every system of grammar is based on, testified by every computer in the world, stated by Plato, told to you in the Bible, always circumscribing your whole existence, or you can believe that judgment is not possible. Your choice is based on your own intelligence. No one but yourself is responsible for your behavior. Rectangle roots the figure. There is a very simple and very old figure in geometry which gives one quite a number of relationships, but which it is normal to trivialize, in the simple, the right angle. However, what one can find in it, the duplicate ratio, has fascinated some mathematicians to the point of irrationality trying to solve a problem that it presents. That problem has been called the Delian problem, or the duplication of the cube. The figure looks and is very simple, and in sum, it incites observations of simple greater and less than. For example, angle ABC is less than angle AB. But let us assume that it is the skeleton frame for a house. What are our next additions? We add a couple of outside walls and now we have a right triangle, and we figure out that the square on the two sides is equal to the square on the base. Well, it is teaching us addition, not of lines, but of area. If we drop just one perpendicular from A, we get slash. Now, most people see a bunch of lines, and many people see mathematical operations being performed. Slash. So far, these relationships are in regard to areas outside of the figure, but how do we come to comprehend the relationships inside the figure? Many mathematicians see it, plain as day, a clue to the Delian solution. Slash. Since the duplicate ratio has followed geometry since its earliest days, it is perfectly insane to claim that a figure cannot produce a duplicate ratio. This fact, that a figure has to exist, which puts the duplicate ratio on a given line, of given length, has to exist, has to be possible, is what drives intelligent mathematicians to their wits' ends. It is there, right in front of them, it can be done. Now, as enticing as the figure is, one has to ask, can the circle be used to demonstrate a different method of producing ratios that has hardly ever been, if at all, investigated? Slash. That was easy. Now we have one pair of the duplicate ratio on one line. I, personally, have never seen anyone who examined this method of demonstration in the figure's power to produce ratios. What do we know so far? Duplicate ratios are a primitive. Secondly, a method exists by which to determine a vanishing point, a point which determines the unit by which all the ratios can be measured by the same standard. All we have to do is find it, the very same problem we had to begin with. We can, in all frustration, now take this ratio and proportion it to any line. Or we can do a bit of thinking. Our first figure gives us one ratio per side. The second gives us not only two, but the vanishing point, or unit of measure which measures all the ratios by a single unit. What to do? We add the figures, however, the thought behind what to do with them also increases exponentially. The final figure is going to be complicated. However, we have to add together two ideas, a linear ratio, and a geometric ratio, or in the simple, a conic section. The resulting figure will give you at least two methods of drawing the conic, each of them drawing exactly the same conic. We are then being told twice what to do. The intelligent thing will be, just do it. We are going to add the first figure to the second. Slash. We simply add the arithmetic square root figure to the geometric cube root figure, and we have applied a standard arithmetic method to finding the geometric ratio sort. The idea that a particular set of tools determines the ability of a grammar system is pure nonsense, as Plato stated, and demonstrated by every computer today, not to mention the very definition of anything. Grammar is the product not of a tool, a perceptible, but an idea. Binary recursion. We do not use rocks today, in order to communicate with paint, no more than a straightedge and compass to write geometry. Geometry, like every other grammar, is defined not by its tools, but by simple binary recursion. Every grammar is produced by, and proved by, simple binary recursion because binary recursion always produces a binary result. When the Delian problem was given, we already knew that we could produce duplicate ratios, so what then was the reason it was given? Is it a coincidence that we are constantly being told to find the standard of measure, to learn judgment? So why are we always whining that it is impossible to do? Why do we claim, constantly, that we cannot be consistent, and use a single measure, or have, as written, a single measure in our pouch. Does not one produce everything? Why do we say this one time, and then another claim that it does not? Why live our life like some brainless fool who cannot have faith in a single, simple, idea? How can we claim to believe in equality and yet say, at the same time, it is impossible? Why let our own lips call us an idiot? Right now, we live a life of a rectangle, only our intelligence can get us, eventually, out of.
And you'll see just who you are on a clear day, how it will astound you that the glow of your being outshines every star. You feel part of every mountain, sea, and shore. You can hear from far and near a world you've never heard before. And on that clear day, you can see forever and forevermore. On a clear day, look all around you, and you will see just who you are. On a clear day, it will astound you that the glow of your being outshines every star. You feel part of every mountain, sea, and shore. You can hear from far and near a world you've never ever heard before. And on that clear day, you can see forever and ever and ever and ever
False words are not only evil in themselves, but they infect the mind with evil. Phaedo by Plato,